Go ahead.
Yeah, these are all the old ones.
All old?
Yep, all the old ones.
Yeah.
No aluminum on that. They look very new, amazingly.
Okay, yeah, just tell me.
I think all new.
Looks very new.
Okay.
But boy, it looks all
So
new up
clean,
here. Yeah.
So clean. December 29th, 1995.
So this must have been worked on when it went back to Austin.
That's, yeah. So this was, you know, these Austins are really,
Yeah.
they're amazing. They really are. And you know, these little, I can see now these things here, actually, all they do is they unscrew. Those were all replaced,
Mm-hmm.
and these were not. There must have been a rationale for that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to replace those, then the logic would be replace everything, right?
What do you think?
If there was a problem. If there's no problem, why replace them?
Well, it does have the old style valves.
Yeah.
But it looks as though they've been,
Except some.
but it looks as though they've been redone. See, that's new leather. But those have all been redone.
They look like they're newly redone, unless they just.
See underneath. Oh no, no, that's all fresh.
It's what?
That's all fresh leather.
It's all fresh.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. And this is all nice, beautiful new leather.
Yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful. It's the way you test. A good way to test leather is just to put your fingernail across and see if you can pull up any little bits, you know. This is beautiful, first-class leather in beautiful shape. These have all been redone. This looks beautiful. I'd call that
First class.
just like a brand new chest. The new valves are a little better, but these valves did work while we were taking care of the organ. They worked fine, and there must be some reason. And if I could, you know, somebody from Austin, that I might be able to reach someone who could tell us something about this, why they decided to do that versus putting the new type in. But I don't see any negative in it. And the new valves, obviously they changed them for a reason.
Right.
And they're obviously would be more stable with a solid backing like that.
Right.
But these work fine. So I see no problem with them, and they look like they've all been renewed. The actions are in beautiful shape with good leather.
You wouldn't redo all the actions and not do these if they needed being done.
Well, well, they did redo them. So I think what they did was say, we'll redo them, but we'll leave them in the old format rather than redoing them and putting them in new format.
So
those are all redone. Those are all. That's all brand. It's brand new leather.
Leather looks so
and
good.
the inside, I looked inside this brand new leather. So those are all been redone. That's what he meant by revalve. Remember in my letter,
Okay.
it said revalve. So they did. They did revalve those. They just did it in the old style rather than the new style. You know, that's interesting to see. They feel okay.
How do you access those things?
Well, you put new. Well, you take the whole chest apart. These things all come off. These are called.
Do they come off from the other side?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So that, if it had to be.
See, these are all.
We didn't bother.
Well, but you shouldn't either. But all those, you know, the way they build in Austin, Oregon, those are all pre-made in various sizes, and then they're assembled and placed on this rim, which is attached to the airbox.
When the organ at Saint-Saëns was redone, I know all of these things were redone.
Yes.
Were these things?
No. No.
Okay.
There was no need to. The valves were in good shape, and normally you don't replace those. But if they've been water damaged, or if the leather has gone bad, or if in this type, if the backing has gone bad or something, you'd replace them. But these valves are very good, and that's not a normal procedure to replace valves unless they need it. If they need it, then you replace all of them.
Okay.
And an organ this old, I think, probably is a good idea to replace them. You know, anything that's seen this much use, replacing them is good, and they did it. Let's see if these look, if there looks like anything is
When you say sloughing off.
well, I think what they were, weren't they saying that stored on their sides,
Right.
these would tend to,
Yes,
what would they do?
sag.
They tend to sag or something.
Right.
Well, everybody should look with me. Do you see any sagging? I don't think I do.
I don't see any sagging.
I don't know why they would. Look, these are very light little things.
Yeah.
How would they sag?
Yeah.
And of course he might be talking about, I wonder what else he might, the traces, they don't sag. I don't know what else they're talking about that might sag.
Park and Rec Department.
How do you
Yes,
do?
Jack Bethards.
Nice to meet you.
Jack. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Well, we've,
Well, this is all organ, Justin, all the way to that wall,
Yeah.
far over there, all the way
all the way down.
to here.
This is your first time to see it?
Yeah.
Well, it's quite something. This is
This is all pipe organ here.
one of the really,
We've just moved this out here from this position so we could take a look at this inside here. This is a key part of the organ.
Because if this were a problem, that would have a huge effect on their pricing.
And our finding is,
well, they look perfect to me. I can't detect any kind of a problem with these chests. They look beautiful.
that's great to hear.
They're well done. All brand new actions here and here. Redone valves. Everything looks clean.
So
looks
clearly,
perfect to me.
Clearly these have been rebuilt in 1995 or whenever.
Totally,
they were back
yes.
east.
Oh, yes, because I remember them before the rebuilding. They had brown leather, for example.
okay.
Oh, really?
And- oh, yeah, they were by that point they were from the '60s. Well, we were looking at the sagging question. I think everybody should look together and see if you think anything looks like it's sagged. I can't see anything.
What, is this here? Is that moving off the?
No, that's just the piece of leather is put on slightly off the thing. But look underneath. You'll see this leather is off.
Yeah.
It's slightly off
Yeah,
center. That's
yeah.
all. It's not a big. That's not an important issue because all this leather is doing is holding this together onto that. See, instead of the rivet, the other one had a rivet. This is just holding the valve onto that little arm. Now, look. Well, here I'll show you. Look at this. See how this is done with a
Yes.
rivet? So that's just the same thing except without the rivet. So what's happened there? Whoever put the leather on got it just slightly off, so it's a little down there and a little also down there.
But that's not sagging.
No.
That tiny bit of coloration, discoloration.
Where's
on
that?
these, what does this mean? Anything?
And magnets.
Does that mean anything? That discoloration?
No.
Okay.
That's where glue has come
Glue
through.
soaking through.
Yeah,
Got it.
I don't think those are
And
big-
all of
those
this
are
And all those
issues.
pouches up there?
Those are good. Those are in beautiful shape.
Great.
I can't see anything wrong with any of this. This is not worth changing, believe me.
We'll pull this a little bit.
This is, it's not worth taking this apart and putting new valves in there. If should anyone want to have new valves, there's no point in it. These are perfectly good.
Justin, if you don't mind, or Jerry, thanks.
I mean,
Thank you.
I'd be glad to be educated by them if they feel that there's something I'm not seeing here, but so far I'm stuck. I
Your
can't find any
experience would
problems.
pretty well speak to it.
And down here, look at the beautiful new leather
Yeah.
on all the offset notes, and these are the primaries for those. Those are called frog actions. Those are in good shape. All brand new, beautiful.
Looks like they did all the chests then.
Well, I can't imagine that they did some and not all.
Yeah. Or they'd have a record of ones they didn't do.
Yeah, and you see, oh look here, new traces. See,
I noticed
every
that.
once in a while where there's a
Yeah,
bad trace,
yeah.
they put a new one in.
So they took care of that.
You know, when you install an organ, a big organ like this, you'll expect after it's up and going to find a few little problems. Those can be fixed.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't see any. Don't those here touch it yourself? That feels pretty good.
Yeah, and I've been touching on the other side.
I don't see any problem with that. Are there any more open?
This one around
There's
here.
one
it's
more?
a little,
Let's-
it's a
well,
little
let's-
difficult.
It's all right.
You're gonna-
Oh, I can do it.
It's a bear to get in there.
It's around the bend there.
I'll just look this
yeah,
way.
you can't get around it. I can come around, shine a light. at you.
I got the light.
Looking at the same-
Well, these look the same. I mean, I don't see any difference here from the
Look
others.
down at that.
Let me have a look at that. I can tell what's been done to it. Oh, see, that's all been cleaned thoroughly. That's all cleaned. Remember, they said the pipes all went through the voicing room. It's obvious if you look at the bright shiny nature of all the parts of this pipe, how nice, what nice shape it's in, and how clean it is. It's all been, I think, re-shellacked. It looks like, and it's in beautiful shape. It looks almost like new.
Yeah. Show Justin a little wood pipe
So the end of
so
Morris
he can
might be
understand the concept.
all wood.
Here's
Remember what we looked at?
I'd forgotten that. I think that's right. I think
This is
one.
the small version of that gigantic thing.
No,
Isn't that
no.
amazing? See, with this thing
That was too
removed,
bad.
that's what that pipe is.
I was pretty sure
There's
that
the
there would
hole,
be some
and
metals.
the air goes through there, and the sound comes out.
well, what about the next one down?
The taller the pipe is.
Says
the
the
lower
old.
pitch. Isn't that amazing?
That-
Great.
That scale.
Flauta
Second
dolce.
open diapason,
32 feet long.
choir viol.
This is a G pipe.
Echo Flauta Dolce. Let's see
They're all marked.
what these are marked. I want to see. I just want to
Not that
see.
heavy.
Well, they wouldn't put woods on top of metal,
You want to
so
inspect it out? The
You know what?
They
You know
look
what's the
beautiful to me.
flauto
I
dolce?
don't
That's
think
what that's telling you. FLDOL is
Well, they're-
flauto dolce.
they're clean. They're in
And
good
that's the
shape.
G.
You know, really.
And there's on the chest, it says.
And let's see the tuners.
So it's easy to
The,
put back.
Well, the
Whereas
tuners are
it would
original
be
tuners, but there's nothing wrong with them.
Where does stuff go? 7,500 bucks.
So you want to try that?
Should we put a little
the
air in
lid on
that so you can
first,
hear it?
Or do you want to just, what's the appropriate way to handle it?
Well, it should have this lid back on sometime. Okay, here we are.
Perfect. You want to hold, keep this line up? Perfect.
That looks like a new pipe. But anyway, the point whether it's new or old, there you are. I can't see any ovaling on that, can you?
No.
The test is, will it play?
Yeah.
Plays fine. These zincs, these are zincs, and here's a
Those are
you know,
gorgeous.
I wonder if, you know, it looks like a new pipe. I wonder if we can tell. Let's see. It's new slide.
Yeah, new slide, but it does look like a new
Pedal
pipe, doesn't it?
vial, hey, but I mean, it might be very clean. You know, if they're cleaned well, it could be an original pipe. Here's a zinc. Let's look at it and see. If it looks ovaled, I can't see any sign of it here. Pick it up, yeah. Pick it up and turn it.
Right.
Yeah.
You've been sitting for a while.
If they are,
Very doubtful that that zinc would ever oval.
I mean, they've been sitting here for 10 years.
Yeah.
See, they put new felt in
How
there.
was it kept this way? That it's not oval?
Because it's older pipe work.
The metal is, yeah.
Jack, is that the?
The zinc, the old zinc is very strong. And this organ will all have old zinc in it, so you're fine. But I don't see any evidence of any ovaling there. I don't see any on the spotted metal pipes. These look in good shape. My goodness. Gee, they're wonderful pipes.
There's the bullet hole.
God. Look, I don't see any evidence of egg shaping on these.
No, we didn't
I
either.
think they're fine. Well, that's because of putting those cradles. That's a very good thing.
Yeah, those were built by the city too, I think.
Yeah, later, after they were brought back, I think we suggested that if they didn't do that, they'd be in trouble. They'd be in trouble with this. So I think they had their shop people make these.
Did a good job.
Yeah, very nice. Well, very good. I think this is in marvelous shape. Much better than I expected. Inside,
How big of a deal is it to repair something like
well,
this?
it's a big deal, but it's all doable.
You could probably go down there in a little
Zoom
cart.
in and get the split.
I mean, this is a big pipe, you can crawl through that.
It's not unusual, by the way, for big wooden pipes to crack. That's a pretty normal thing. That happens quite often.
Looks like it's all,
Let's see if the doors have been resurfaced. No, see, that hasn't been done. This, usually they redo these.
yeah.
They probably haven't done that. So they put a brand new action of the modern type, and that's called a pedal action,
So that was
or a pedal motor, and that's just new.
these are for pedal pipes with the gates. See the adjustable
Trays are
gates?
listed on the inside there.
So they can control the amount of air
Well,
going into the
over
bottom of
this
the
side,
pipe.
there's an awful lot of them.
Just keep going and going, huh?
That's what that's all about.
See a lot of wood parts. There's small parts are put in here. Lead stays, so on and so forth.
That's really interesting. 12 shades with rope here and felt. God, those are big. Look at the size of those things.
20, you're right. 20. There are two of them.
There's two of
There are two of them. And you only ran one. It's a 40 horsepower organ, but you ran one for just testing and used the two. It'll work on one.
Right.
But if you want to play it full bore, they put both on. See, the knee board is
Oh, yeah.
set to move. Look at the felt.
4 o'clock
and everything. See, the knee board moves up and down, or is set to move up and down. It used to be there was supposed to be an elevator that would raise and lower the pedals so that they would fit a short-legged organist or long-legged organist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. and the adjusted pedal board. That was the.
This is a super.
That's a little adjustable one.
Isn't that nice? That's a beautiful mechanism.
Yeah, that is.
The trouble is, it looks awfully
It looks strange.
hulky, but it's a very good, very fine mechanism.